Trump puts final nail in the coffin of Russia hoax with brutal move on Putin. Democrats are freaking out after President Donald Trump put the final nail in the coffin of the Russia collusion hoax with a brutal move on VladimAccording to Daily Caller. Trump took drastic measures against Russia on Friday, April 6, 2018, when the U.S. Treasury Department slammed Russia with a new round of sanctions. Key individuals and entities were hit, including 7 wealthy oligarchs, 12 of their companies, a state-owned weapons trading company called Rosoboroneksport, that company's RFC Bank subsidiary, and 17 government officials. This unprecedented move by the Trump administration puts the final nail in the coffin of the Russia collusion hoax for good. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin blasted the Russian government in a statement on Friday. The Russian government operates for the disproportionate benefit of oligarchs and government elites, he said. The Russian government engages in a range of malign activity around the globe, including continuing to occupy Crimea and instigate violence in eastern Ukraine, supplying the Assad regime with material and weaponry as they bomb their own civilians, attempting to subvert Western democracies, and malicious cyber activities, Mnuchin continued. Russian oligarchs and elites who profit from this corrupt system will no longer be insulated from the consequences of their government's destabilizing activities, he added. The new sanctions against some of Putin's closest allies will freeze all assets subject to U.S. jurisdiction held by the designated individuals and entities, prohibits Americans from doing business with them, and could potentially trigger sanctions against non-U.S. persons who facilitate transactions by the sanctioned entities. The list of sanctioned oligarchs includes Oleg Deripaska, who touts himself as a representative of the Russian state when traveling abroad and is accused of crimes ranging from money laundering to extortion, racketeering, bribery, ties to organized crime, and ordering the murder of business rivals. In addition, Deripaska is connected to the Steele dossier, the suspect document that became the premise to launch controversial surveillance of Donald Trump's 2016 presidential campaign, and to Trump's former campaign chairman Paul Manafort, by the former Obama administration. In a statement to Bloomberg News on Friday, former Treasury official Elizabeth Rosenberg said, "This is clearly a really intensive strike at Deripaska and his corporate holdings. By naming a number of oligarchs and state entities, including in the energy sector, it's meaningful because they're aiming at sensitive industries in Russia that generate a lot of revenue." One other notable Russian oligarch caught up in this round of sanctions is Suleiman Karimov, who was a member of the Russian Federation Council accused of skirting European tax laws by hauling around huge amounts of cash in suitcases and laundering money through questionable land deals. In November 2017, Karimov was arrested in France for tax evasion. In addition to other holdings, Karimov controls Polyus, which is Russia's biggest producer of gold. Where Putin and several of his closest allies. This is a home run. Source: MadWorldNews.com.